Nathan, I'm sorry. At the gazebo, I clammed up because...
Did I do something wrong?
No. It's this place. There's a lot of memories here for me, and...
You, when you go back to the cabin, use the walk to clear your head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heartland Season 19, Episode 4 is about to change everything we thought we knew about Amy's journey. Because this time, love, loss, and the ghost of Ty collide in the most haunting way possible. For years, Amy has carried the shadow of Ty in her heart, a love so powerful that it never really faded. But now, as Nathan steps closer, trying to fill the space Ty left behind, something strange begins to happen. Whispers from the past, unexpected visions, and emotional turmoil begin to tear Amy apart from within. The trailer for Episode 4 hints at something the Heartland universe has never dared to do before, bringing Ty's presence back, not as a simple flashback, but as a force that challenges Amy's new love and shakes the foundation of everything she's rebuilt. So, what really happens in Heartland Season 19, Episode 4? What secrets did the trailer accidentally reveal? And is Amy finally ready to move on from Ty? Or will his ghost hold her heart forever? The moment the Episode 4 trailer dropped, fans knew we were in for an emotional roller coaster. It starts off calm, almost peaceful, with Amy and Nathan finally finding their rhythm. We see them smiling at the ranch, working side by side. And for a brief moment, it looks like Amy has finally stepped into a new chapter of her life. But then, everything changes. There's this one haunting line in the trailer, Amy whispering, "Some things never truly leave us." At first, it sounds poetic, but then the camera lingers on the barn door swinging open by itself. That's when the fandom lost its mind. Many fans believe this is the exact moment Ty's presence returns to Heartland, not through memory, not through imagination, but as something deeper. What makes this episode even more mysterious is how Nathan fits into all this. His character has always been patient, respectful, and understanding of Amy's pain. But in the trailer, you can sense his frustration building. He's trying to be the man who helps her heal, but the shadow of Ty still hangs over every moment. There's a scene, just a few seconds long, where Nathan looks across the field, his expression torn between love and doubt. It's as if he feels Ty's spirit still standing there, watching over Amy. And honestly, who can blame him? Competing with the memory of a man like Ty is almost impossible. Ty wasn't just Amy's husband, he was her soulmate, her anchor, her safe place. What's truly heartbreaking, though, is how Amy begins to lose her grip on what's real and what's not. In one scene, she's talking to Nathan, but her eyes drift to the distance, as if she sees something we don't. Fans have been debating whether this is Amy simply missing Ty, or if there's actually a supernatural element sneaking into Heartland for the first time. After all, this show has always been grounded in emotion and nature, not mystery or ghosts. But the way this trailer is edited feels different. The lighting, the sound, even Amy's expressions carry an eerie tone. It's like the show is teasing the possibility that Ty's soul is still connected to her in ways she can't explain. Meanwhile, Caleb seems to be making things worse. Again. Remember how in the last episode, he nearly ruined Nathan and Amy's romantic moment by inserting himself into their story? Well, the trailer hints that Caleb's involvement might dig even deeper this time. There's a brief clip of him talking to Jack, saying something like, "Maybe she's not ready to move on." And that one line might be the seed that triggers everything that follows. Because once Caleb starts questioning Amy's relationship with Nathan, those doubts spread fast. Even Amy begins to wonder, is she truly ready to give her heart to someone else? Or is she still holding on to Ty? Not out of love, but out of guilt. The trailer closes with the most chilling moment yet. Amy standing alone in the barn, her hand brushing across Ty's old saddle, whispering softly, "I still feel you." And then, silence. The screen fades to black, and all we hear is the sound of horses in the distance. No background music, no closing shot. Just that haunting silence that leaves every fan wondering what it means. Was it a dream? A sign? Or something real? If there's one thing Heartland has always done perfectly, it's blending emotional truth with powerful symbolism. And this trailer seems to be setting up episode 4 as the most emotional, intense, and possibly supernatural story Heartland has ever told. It's not just about Amy moving on. It's about confronting the one thing she's been avoiding for years, letting Ty go for good. But the question is, will she be able to? Because from the looks of it, Ty isn't quite ready to let her go either. The leak spoilers from the Heartland production set have thrown the entire fandom into chaos, because if even half of them turn out to be true, episode 4 will completely rewrite Amy's story forever. According to multiple insider posts, episode 4 will pick up right after the turbulence incident where Caleb and Nathan were forced to make an emergency landing. Apparently, that crash changes everything, not just for them, but for Amy too. Nathan's disappearance in that storm becomes a turning point. Amy begins to panic when she loses contact with him, and in her desperation, she rides out into the night, chasing after him just like she once did for Ty years ago. And that's where the strange part begins. The spoilers mention that while searching for Nathan, Amy ends up near an old cabin deep in the woods, a place we've never seen before in Heartland. She steps inside, soaked from the rain, trembling, calling Nathan's name, and then she stops. There's a moment of eerie stillness, and she whispers, "Ty?" That one word sent fans spiraling, because why would she call out his name unless she somehow felt him there? From what's been reported, this scene will be filled with heavy symbolism, the sound of horses outside, flickering lights, and Amy clutching the same bracelet Ty once gave her. It's not meant to be a literal ghost story, but a spiritual one. The feeling of Ty's presence guiding her when she needs him most. But here's where the twist hits. When Nathan is finally found the next morning, he tells Amy something that changes everything. He says that during the storm, when their plane started to fall, he thought of her. And right before the turbulence cleared, he saw a man standing outside the cockpit window. A man wearing a jacket. A familiar one. Fans instantly recognized what that meant. Nathan may have seen Ty's spirit. It's one of those scenes that will blur the line between life, love, and the afterlife. The idea that Ty could still be watching over Amy through Nathan adds another layer to their complicated relationship. It's beautiful, tragic, and haunting all at once. At the same time, Caleb becomes even more conflicted. The spoilers reveal that he starts questioning everything: his loyalty, his friendship, and his own place in Amy's life. He's always seen himself as the protector, the one who knows Amy best. But now, watching her fall deeper for Nathan while also being haunted by Ty's memory makes him feel powerless. There's reportedly a scene where Caleb tells Jack, "She's chasing ghosts, Jack. She's gonna lose herself if she keeps looking back." And that line perfectly sums up the emotional storm brewing in this episode. Caleb is right. Amy is stuck between past and present, and the more she tries to move on, the more the past pulls her back in. Nathan, on the other hand, starts to realize that loving Amy might mean living in Ty's shadow forever. And honestly, that's what makes his character so powerful. He's not trying to replace Ty. He's trying to build something new with Amy, something that's his own. But imagine how hard that is when even the universe seems to keep Ty's memory alive. Every horse, every song, every quiet sunset on that ranch reminds Amy of the life she once had. It's both comforting and torturous. The leaks also mention a very emotional dream sequence, one that might become one of the most talked about scenes in Heartland history. Amy dreams she's walking through the ranch at dawn, everything glowing golden and still. She sees Ty leaning against the fence, smiling softly. No words are spoken, but she can feel his message. It's time to let go. When she wakes up, she's crying, and Nathan is right there beside her, holding her hand, not asking questions, just being there. That moment is said to be the emotional core of episode 4, where Amy realizes that moving forward doesn't mean forgetting Ty. It means carrying his love in a new way, through the person who now stands beside her. But the most suspenseful part of these leaks comes at the end of the episode. Apparently, before the credits roll, Amy finds a letter in one of Ty's old books. A letter he wrote but never gave her. No one knows what it says yet, but fans believe it will be Ty's final message, one that will give Amy the closure she's needed for years. Whether it's real or just something she imagines doesn't even matter. What matters is how it changes her, how it helps her finally stop running from the ghost of her past and start walking toward her future. Episode 4 isn't just another romantic drama. It's shaping up to be the emotional reckoning of the entire Heartland series, where love, grief, and fate all collide in one unforgettable chapter. If episode 4 is about anything, it's about emotional collision, the moment when the heart finally decides whether to hold on or let go. And for Amy Fleming, that moment has arrived. After finding Ty's letter, everything inside her begins to unravel. For years, she has been living halfway between the past and the present, trying to be strong for everyone while secretly holding herself back. But this time, the pain, the guilt, and the love she's been burying finally come to the surface. The spoilers suggest that the letter Ty left behind isn't long, but it's powerful. It's said to include a line that reads something like, "Don't stop living just because I had to stop." That one sentence breaks Amy completely because it feels like Ty is giving her permission to be happy again. From that moment on, episode 4 takes a deeper, more emotional turn. Amy doesn't just cry, she starts to breathe again. She rides Spartan through the fields, her hair flying in the wind, tears mixing with the rain. And it's not about grief anymore, it's about release. For the first time in a long time, Amy isn't running away from her feelings, she's letting them out. That freedom, that small taste of peace, is what makes the next scenes so powerful. Because just when she's ready to face the future, the past reaches out one more time, through Nathan. Nathan's struggle in this episode might be one of the most heartbreaking arcs in the entire season. On the surface, he's steady, calm, trying to be the one who keeps Amy grounded. But deep down, he's breaking. Imagine falling in love with someone who's still in love with a ghost. Someone who smiles at you, but whose eyes are still somewhere else. That's what Nathan's been living through. And the leaked script pages hint that in episode 4, he finally reaches his limit. There's a scene where he confesses to Jack, saying, "I can't compete with a man who's not even here anymore." It's not anger, not jealousy, just raw honesty. Nathan knows he can't replace Ty, and maybe he shouldn't have to. He just wants Amy to see him for who he is, not as the man who came after. What makes Nathan's pain even heavier is the fact that he's genuinely good. He never forces Amy to choose, never demands her attention, never tries to erase Ty's memory. Instead, he simply stands by her, quietly loving her from the shadows, even when she pulls away. That quiet strength is what makes his character resonate with so many fans. But in episode 4, we'll see the cracks begin to show. The scene after the dream sequence, where Amy wakes up crying in Nathan's arms, is said to be the emotional core of the entire episode. Nathan doesn't say a word, he just holds her, tears in his own eyes, because he knows that in that moment, Amy isn't holding him, she's holding the ghost of Ty. Meanwhile, Caleb's arc takes a darker, more conflicted path. The man who once called Ty his brother now seems to be lost between jealousy and guilt. He starts to lash out at Nathan, accusing him of trying to replace Ty too quickly. There's a rumored confrontation scene where Caleb and Nathan come face to face at the ranch. It starts as a simple disagreement, but quickly escalates into raw emotion. Nathan tells him, "You talk about Ty like he's still here, but maybe you're the one who can't let him go." That line cuts deep, not just for Caleb, but for the audience too. Because in a way, Caleb represents the fans who still can't accept Ty's absence. He's the physical embodiment of grief, loud, angry, and unable to move on. And then there's Amy, caught between two men who love her for different reasons. One who represents her past, and another who represents her chance at a future. The leaked spoilers hint that there's a quiet moment after all the chaos where Amy visits Ty's grave. She kneels down, places the letter there, and simply says, "Thank you for loving me enough to let me go." It's not a goodbye filled with tears or screams. It's peaceful, gentle, like the final page of a chapter that's been waiting to close for years. The camera is said to linger on Amy's face as she looks up at the sky, her expression somewhere between sadness and relief. That's when Nathan appears behind her. He doesn't speak, he just takes her hand, and for the first time, Amy doesn't pull away. That single gesture speaks louder than any words could. It's the first time she truly let someone new into her heart. It doesn't mean she's forgotten Ty. It means she's finally ready to live again. Episode 4 is shaping up to be a masterpiece of emotional storytelling, not just because of the love triangle, but because it explores something universal, how hard it is to move on when your heart still remembers what it lost. It's not about replacing the past, it's about learning to carry it differently. And by the end of this episode, Amy will take her first real step toward healing, even if the road ahead is still uncertain. But make no mistake, this piece won't last long, because just when everything seems calm, the next set of leaks suggests that something big, something unexpected, is about to shatter that fragile happiness once again. Just when it feels like Amy's finally found her peace, Episode 4 takes the kind of turn that Heartland hasn't pulled in years, one that flips calm into chaos within seconds. After all the emotional breakthroughs, all the quiet healing, the episode seems to offer a glimpse of balance. Amy, Nathan, and even Caleb seem ready to move forward. The ranch feels alive again, filled with laughter and the comforting rhythm of work. There's this warmth in the air, the feeling that maybe, after so much pain, everyone deserves a little bit of light. But if Heartland has taught us anything, it's that peace never lasts for long. And this time, the storm doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. The leaked spoilers and early viewer reports hint that the episode's second half begins with Amy preparing for a new project, something Ty once dreamed of doing. She decides to train a rescued horse that no one else can handle, naming him Ghost. Fans immediately picked up on that symbolism. A horse named Ghost, a woman haunted by her past, and a new man trying to find his place. It's poetic, and it sets the stage for one of the most emotional sequences of the season. Amy believes this project will honor Ty's memory and prove that she's ready to move on. But what she doesn't realize is that by doing so, she's awakening emotions she thought she'd already buried. Nathan starts noticing subtle changes in her. The distant looks, the way she talks to Ghost like she's talking to someone else, the way her voice softens when she mentions Ty's name. At first, he brushes it off, thinking it's just nostalgia. But as the days go by, the tension grows heavier. One of the leaked lines from Nathan says, "I'm starting to feel like I'm living with someone who's half here and half somewhere else." That one line captures everything. Nathan isn't angry. He's scared. Scared of losing Amy not to another man, but to the memories that still haunt her. Caleb, on the other hand, begins to crumble. His guilt over the confrontation with Nathan, combined with his own unresolved feelings about Ty, pushes him to the edge. He starts drinking again, something we haven't seen him do in a long time. There's an emotional moment where he admits to Jack, "I thought I made peace with losing him, but seeing Amy move on feels like losing him all over again." That line hits hard because it shows that grief isn't just about love, it's about identity. Ty wasn't just Amy's partner, he was Caleb's brother, his friend, his mirror. And now that Nathan's stepping into that space, Caleb doesn't know who he is anymore. Meanwhile, Amy keeps seeing signs. Small, unexplainable things. The barn door creaking open at night. Ghost reacting to shadows. The smell of Ty's old cologne when she walks past his tack box. These moments aren't loud or dramatic. They're subtle, almost too quiet to notice. But they're enough to make Amy question her own sanity. Is she really sensing Ty's presence? Or is her heart creating illusions because she's still afraid to let him go completely? The emotional weight of these scenes reportedly builds until the tension becomes unbearable. Then comes the twist. The moment that has already been whispered about across fan forums and spoiler threads. During a stormy evening, Amy takes Ghost out to the pasture to calm him down, but the horse suddenly bolts, frightened by thunder. She chases after him through the rain, calling his name, and slips in the mud. Nathan finds her moments later, drenched and shaking, holding onto Ghost's reins with tears in her eyes. She whispers, "He came back. He helped me." When Nathan asks who she means, Amy looks straight at him and says, "Ty." Now, whether that was a hallucination, a dream, or something real is the question everyone's asking. But the next morning, when Amy wakes up, Ghost's stall is spotless, his blanket folded neatly the way Ty used to do it. No one can explain how. That's the mystery Heartland is teasing this season. Not a literal ghost story, but the idea that love leaves traces, that some connections never truly fade. Nathan's reaction in this scene is one of quiet heartbreak. He doesn't argue, doesn't try to convince Amy she imagined it. He just looks at her and says, "If he's still watching over you, then I hope he knows I'll never stop loving you." It's a moment that perfectly captures Nathan's strength and pain. He's not fighting Ty's memory anymore. He's accepting that Ty will always be part of Amy's heart. And somehow, that acceptance makes him love her even more.